Now let's talk about being responsible. To be responsible, we're going to obey all the school rules. That includes following the champ's voice levels and the champ's directions given to you by your teachers. We're going to always tell the truth because when we're honest, we're going to make mistakes, but when we're honest, the consequences are going to be less, and we're going to respect that. Dress appropriately, wear appropriate school clothing. We're going to get into that a little bit more later, and ask permission before leaving the assigned area. We need to know where you are at to be able to keep you safe. Shirts, sweaters, and sweatshirts. Pair of FLINN school appropriate tops must not show any of your midriff. That means your stomach or your lower back, and the entire shoulder should be covered, meaning that when you perform normal movements, we still shouldn't see that stomach or that back. It should cover your undergarments, including bras and underwear at all times. It may not depict any weapons, alcohol, drugs, gangs, or any offensive language or innuendos. FLINN spirit wear is allowed. RPS 205 spirit wear is allowed. Not sure why you'd want to wear another school's spirit wear like Lincoln. Because FLINN is #1. Bottoms and shoes, all buttons and zippers must be closed. We're not allowed to undo our top button and fold our pants over, for example. We must cover all the lower undergarments, and no part of the buttocks should be seen. And that includes when you're bending over or you're up on your tiptoes. Shoes must be worn at all times within the building because, there's 800 middle schoolers in here. If you're walking around in your bare feet or in your socks, they're going to get very dirty. Slippers, house shoes, wheelie shoes are also prohibited. And keep in mind that really what the dressed expectation is that however you should dress should not interfere with the learning environment. So if something you're wearing is going to interfere with the learning environment and it's not on this list, we are still going to ask you to change. Outerwear, headwear, and backpacks, jackets, and coats must be stored in your lockers during the school day. Head coverings and gear, such as hats, hoods, bonnets, do-rags, and sunglasses, must also be removed when you come into the school and stored in your locker. Backpacks and purses must be kept in your locker during the school day. Computer bags are allowed. A computer bag would be one that is going to hang off your shoulder and basically fit your computer and maybe a notebook and a few other items such as pens and pencils. Water bottles must be sealed and clear in color. Dress code infractions. First thing we're going to ask you to do is we're going to ask you to change into your PE uniform if what you're wearing is not appropriate, or if you don't have other clothes that you can put on in lieu of that. We may ask you to contact someone from home and have them bring clothes up to you. Students who do not have clothes to change into may be given clothes. Dress code violations will be tracked by your assistant principals, and additional interventions may be given to you, including additional consequences if this continues to be an ongoing issue. And refusal to correct your dress when asked by an administrator is considered interference with school personnel and will lead to additional consequences. IDs, cell phones, and electronics. IDs must be worn from the time you enter the building, bus, school activity until you leave. An ID should be visible at all times. Each grade level has a specific color lanyard, and that is the lanyard color that you need to wear. In addition, if you forgot your ID and you go to get an ID sticker, you need to wear the appropriate colored ID sticker. Those you can receive from your assistant principal or perhaps parent liaison. Cell phones must be turned off and put away. Smartwatches may not be used as a phone during the school day. Electronics such as AirPods, headphones, tech glasses fall under the cell phone policy and should be in your lockers all day long. Only exceptions to this are if you have a teacher's permission to use those items. ID sweep. When a student does not have their ID, they will go to the hallway near the middle stairwells, the PL office, or the AP office, or many of your APs are out sitting in the hallway to get your ID sweep. The student has 3 minutes from when the pass is written to arrive at their assigned classroom after they get the ID sweep. And for the first 3 occasions, you're going to receive lunch detention. Anything above 3, you're going to receive an in-school suspension and an overnight suspension. And what those 2 things are, for an overnight suspension, it means that your parent or guardian are going to have to bring you into school and sign you in. We could assign additional interventions as needed if this continues to be an ongoing issue. Cell phones and electronics. If your cell phone or other inappropriate electronics are visible, it is assumed that you're using it. So when students come and say, but I just took it out of my pocket, or it just fell out, or this or that, if a teacher sees you with you have that in your hand, they're going to assume you're using it. Okay, I mean, it's not their job to try to figure out were you using it or were you not using it. If it's out and visible, it's assumed you're in the process of using it. When asked to put away your cell phone or electronic, it should be done so immediately, meaning we're not going to finish the text or finish this. You need to turn it off and put it away immediately. When asked for your cell phone for confiscation, you need to hand it over to the staff member immediately because you're the one in violation of the district policy. Failure to comply with the district and school policies regarding cell phones and electronics will lead to assigned consequences, and that can range anything from a lunch detention to something more serious, depending on what your reaction is to following the rules and whether you've had additional infractions in the past. Be responsible. Attend all your classes on time and be on time. Being on time means showing up into your room before the bell rings. If you don't do that, you're going to get a hall sweep. If you get a hall sweep, you have 3 minutes from when that pass is written to then get your assigned location. Complete all your classwork and homework. You're here to learn. So when you do these things, complete your classwork and homework, you're building a strong future for yourself. Always remain on school grounds and remain in your assigned areas. Stay in the school and on school property. The reason why this is so important is because we need to be able to account for you in case there is an emergency. Tardies and hall sweeps. When tardy to class, students will go to the hallway near the middle stairwells, PL office, or the AP office, main office's last location, to get a hall sweep. You have 3 minutes from when the pass is written to arrive at their assigned classrooms. Tardies 1 through 9 are lunch detention. Tardies 10 through 14 are in-school suspension. And tardies 15 or more overnight suspension, where your parents then have to come and sign you in the next day. If you receive multiple tardies in the same day, you could receive up to an overnight suspension for that occurrence. The AP may assign additional interventions as needed. Keep in mind that we expect you to be in class and on time. If you are having difficulty, then you need to speak to an adult or your counselor so that they can help you formulate a plan to not be tardy. Of course, remain on school grounds and remain drug-free. Respect school's property. That means keeping all your school items in the same condition you found them, and keep your cell phones off and out of sight. Do not record others without permission. Do not send pictures of others without permission, and do not post pictures or videos of others without their permission. Every year, we have students who think it's a good idea to take pictures of others in the locker room. These may be your friends. You may just be joking around, but that is strictly prohibited. Also, students that like to videotape an altercation that may be occurring. That is considered interference with school personnel. It is not your job to sit there and record that. You need to immediately go to class. Drugs. The definition for drugs. Illegal drugs are those that are illegal based upon your age. It includes marijuana or any marijuana derivative. Lookalike drugs, synthetics, and or any homemade or purchased items that can be interpreted to be a drug or packaged as a drug. Prescription drugs includes those that are not in the prescription bottle. And alcohol includes alcohol that is in water bottle or other beverage container. Keep in mind that you are not allowed to have any drugs on you, even prescription drugs or even over-the-counter drugs. If you need to take those items throughout the school day, your parent most likely is going to have to come up here and give them to you unless they've arranged that with the nurse. In order to arrange that with the nurse, a doctor's note needs to be provided on how that should be distributed to you from your medical professional to our nurse. Nicotine, cigarettes, cigars, chewing tobacco, or any nicotine cartridges. It doesn't matter whether they are full or empty. If it's nicotine, it's nicotine. Any type of paraphernalia. This includes equipment that is used to produce, conceal, or consume drugs. Vape pens, pipes, plastic baggies, pill bottles, and rolling papers. Having drugs in your backpack, clothing, locker, car, or any other RPS property is considered possession. This includes walking to school, waiting at the bus stop, riding the bus, driving to school, and or walking home. This includes attending any school-related events, whether they're on our campus or not, and any related events at any other school in our district. So with drugs, if they're in your possession, you are going to be the one that gets in trouble for it. It doesn't matter if you say that you're holding it for someone else. Because what do you think the likelihood is if we go and ask that person, hey, did you ask so-and-so to hold your illegal drugs? That they're going to say yes. They're not going to. You are going to take the consequences for that infraction. Distribution, actual attempt or intent to deliver. This includes attempting, intending to purchase. It includes attempting or intending to accept drugs from another person. So you don't have to exchange money in order for it to be considered distribution. This includes any transaction or trade. So if you bring a vape pen and you and your friend both use the vape pen, that is distribution. And this also includes the paraphernalia. Keep in mind that drug offenses can be up to a level 4. Some of them on the first occurrence will be a level 4, especially if there's something like marijuana, and that is an expellable offense. So drugs are very serious. You are still a growing child, and when you do these things, it alters your brain chemistry and your body and can lead to long-term negative effects for you. If you by chance find drugs, you're walking to school and you find something, you're in the bathroom and you find a vape pen, you need to immediately bring it to an adult. If you do that, that is considered voluntary reporting. And when you voluntarily report something and hand that in, you do not receive consequences for that. We say thank you, we take it, and we deal with our resource officer if necessary to get rid of the item. Okay, so if you find something or if someone gives you something, do not hang on to it. You need to turn that in immediately. If you or someone in your family is having a problem with drugs, please reach out to a teacher, guidance counselor, coach, school social worker, principal, or assistant principal, and they will try to get you in contact with resources. We also have this QR code that you can use your camera on, and it will bring you to school-based resources. Here's some additional numbers that you or your guardian can call for help with drugs. Now I'm going to turn it over to the next assistant principal who's going to talk about being safe.